More than 40 years ago, Mrs. Ethel Wilson, Minister without portfolio, attended an Alberta Commissioners' Conference for the purpose of presenting the concept of a Parliament of Alberta for girls, with the intent of enriching the guiding experience. The program was designed with the following goals in mind. 1, to encourage girls to seek out the challenge of citizenship and participation through training and service. 2, to bring together young women from different organizations who share common ideals and values in an atmosphere of learning and sharing and fun. 3, to train members in the art of logical thought and self-expression. 4, to educate members in the process of Parliament and the responsibilities of citizenship. 5, to aid in the development and training of girls to become leaders of youth programs for future generations.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to the 45th session of Alberta Girls Parliament. I am honored to make the opening of the session with the speech from the throne. This year, I am proud to announce that we have guiding delegates from all corners of the province, along with delegates who have joined us from Nova Scotia, Saskatchewan, British Columbia, Northwest Territories, 4-H, and Alberta Junior Forest Wardens. Together, we continue to carry on the proud and lasting tradition of AGP.
Order, order. The Lieutenant Governor of the Alberta Girls Parliament.
It maybe made me a little bit more of a feminist. You know, this was another one of those things where the boys wouldn't let us join their clubs, so we had to form our own, and maybe we're better and stronger for it because we just would have been junior participants, where this way we had to jump in and take the leadership role in the organization. So I'm glad to see that it's still going after 45 years.
One of my favorite parts of AGP is watching the speakers get elected, because they follow the tradition of the actual house, where you didn't want to be the speaker because if something went wrong, it was your head.
You can't take me. No. No. The greatest AGP memory would have to be at the 42nd session. It was when Kathleen Robertson was speaker, and I was probably one of the shyest girls here, and she sent me a note during the fun debate that said something about some random animal from Alice in Wonderland, and I stood up and said it, and it made it feel so amazing because someone believed that something could do something, and it ended up me coming back and never wanting to leave. Lieutenant Governor of the Alberta Girls Parliament.
Accepted, we will give them the money. If the university can't find room for them, then unfortunately we cannot provide funds for them.
What did we do when we run out of money?
Shouldn't we, as the working government, express what our people want instead of forcing them into something that they don't want?
We got to do a tour of the legislature, and we got to meet the then Lieutenant Governor at the time, Grant McEwen, who, when I was growing up, was the mayor of Calgary. So that really was the highlight to me, because he was a great man. I'd read his books in school and that, and so I was really thrilled to actually get to meet him. And then we sat in on a session of the legislature, and we were introduced in the House.
So my favorite part of AGP has got to be the legislator tours that we have. When we get to go stand on the magic spot and watch the debates for question period. And there was one year that we got to go up to the very top and see the palm trees, so it was really cool.
To be done, and I say there's a reason here, for a reason above. My honor is to try, and my duty is to love. Singing S, Tigo, 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 tap, tap, S, Tigo, Tigo, baloney, baloney.
We had a guitar and we sang songs, like looked up the lyrics on our iPods and phones. It was pretty awesome. It was like Riptide, which was like the song at the time.
Was the song.
And like Take Me to Church. And yeah, that was pretty fun. That was helped initiate me into AGP because I was a bit like scared. I didn't really know anybody. Well, I knew somebody, but I didn't know very many people.
Well, it kind of involved everybody, and like it was just a group activity that not many people were like talkative before that. But then afterwards, like when you go to Parliament, you're like, oh, we have a friend.
It's like,
yes.
yeah, so
It was pretty good.
What I like most about AGP is I'm gonna have to say the activities that we do, like Zumba. That was amazing.
8 days a week.
My favorite part of EGP is how it empowers women to be active members in the global community, and it teaches us how to use our voices to bring about positive change.
I started when I was 10 as a page, and I went almost every year, and then I went as a delegate. And yeah, so when there was an opportunity for me to continue on as staff, I was happy to take it, and I like sharing the tradition of AGP with younger girls.
I've improved on my public speaking ability and feel a lot more comfortable debating.
I've fallen in love with the thrill of getting up and debate from everyone. I definitely want to come back so that I can argue more.
At first I wasn't sure if I wanted to come, but once I got here, I realized it's probably one of the best things I've done in my life.
My favorite AGP memory is last year when the 44th session when I was Sergeant at Arms, and during the fund debate, one of the delegates stood up after the delegate from Drumheller-Stettler said something and said,
I'm sorry, but I believe that everything that Drumheller-Stettler says is invalid because all the constituents are dinosaurs. After that comment, the delegate who made that comment was dragged out of the House amid much laughter, yelling, "I'll be back."
Increase in chemicals in some of these materials that animals are used for. Some chemicals can save the lives of animals and reduce the pain and stress. When talking about this, we were referring to vaccines or dewormers.
While consumers are saving money in their wallets, they are losing years of their lives. With the growth stimulants and other harmful additives pumped into Alberta livestock, we as consumers have paid the price. To the wild outside, where they'll be scared, more often than not, they'll be under pressure from attack, and they'll be under pressure to find their own food. Do you think that not constitutes animal abuse?
I just feel that this must pass.
I have learned how to improve my public speaking skills and how to come out of my comfort zone a little bit more, as well as just make extremely great friendships.
Everyone was friends right away, and it was just a very good environment.
So I just decided to come back every year because it was such a valuable, wonderful experience to me. Well, AGP is rad because there's no little brownies running around, you know, and you don't have to act like a leader or whatever. It's kind of like for Rangers. I second that motion. The debates are lots of fun. We've been doing debates, we've been having caucus meetings in my group work, and it's been totally awesome, and definitely come. You could, it's been great. And the trip to the mall, that's the highlight of the entire weekend. Yeah.
At AGP, I learned a lot about heckling. It's pretty cool.
How much we've grown as people, as girls, as public speakers, and as stingrays.
What's the love? That's like.
My hope for AGP in the future is that the program will continue on and that new girls will get to experience it every year. I think it's really good to keep the traditions alive, but also like incorporate new things and have the event kind of like change with the times. So the debates are always going to be different and the guest speakers will be different, but like the whole idea of AGP kind of stays the same.